glasses on the table, pulled the brim of her hat down over her eyes, and settled back in the camp seat, folding her arms and stretching her booted feet out, crossed at the ankle. "Having a snooze," she told the drone from beneath the hat. "Wake me when it's time." "Just make yourself comfortable there," the drone told her. Termindazus, drone offensive, watched the woman, Djan Seriy Anaplian, for a few minutes, monitoring her slowing breathing and her gradually relaxing muscle state until it knew she was genuinely asleep. "Sweet dreams, princess," it said quietly. Reviewing its words immediately, the drone was completely unable to determine whether a disinterested observer would have detected any trace of sarcasm or not. It checked round its half-dozen previously deployed scout and secondary knife missiles, using their sensors to watch the still distant approaching army draw slowly closer, and to monitor the various small patrols and individual scouts the army had sent out ahead of it. For a while, it watched the army move. From a certain perspective, it looked like a single great organism inching darkly across the tawny sweep of desert. Something segmented, hesitant. Bits of it would come to a stop for no obvious reason for long moments before starting off again, so that it seemed to shuffle rather than flow en masse, but determined, unarguably fixed on its onward purpose. And all on their way to war, the drone thought sourly, to take and burn and loot and rape and raze. What sullen application these humans devoted to destruction. About half an hour later, when the front of the army was hazily visible on the desert highway a couple of kilometers to the west, a single mounted scout came riding along the top of the ridge, straight towards where the drone kept vigil and the woman slept. The man showed no sign of having seen through the camouflage field surrounding their little encampment, but unless he changed course, he was going to ride right into them. The drone made a tutting noise very similar to the one the woman had made earlier, and told its nearest knife missile to spook the mount. The pencil-thin shape came darting in, effectively invisible, and jabbed the beast in one flank so that it screamed and jerked, nearly unseating its rider as it veered away down the shallow slope of ridge towards the road. The scout shouted and swore at his animal, reining it in and turning its broad snout back towards the ridge, some distance beyond the woman and the drone. They galloped away, leaving a thin trail of dust hanging in the near-still air. Djan Seriy Anaplian stirred, sat up a little, and looked out from under her hat. "What was all that?" she asked drowsily. "Nothing. Go back to sleep." She relaxed again, and a minute later was quietly snoring. The drone woke her when the head of the army was almost level with them. It bobbed its front at the body of men and animals a kilometre distant, while Anaplian was still yawning and stretching. "The boys are all here," it told her. "Indeed they are." She lifted the binoculars and focused on the very front of the army, where a group of men rode mounted on especially tall, colourfully caparisoned animals. These men wore high, plumed helmets, and their polished armour glittered brightly in the glare. "They're all very parade ground," Anaplian said. "It's like they're expecting to bump into somebody out here they need to impress." "God?" the drone suggested. The woman was silent for a moment. She said eventually. She put the field glasses down and looked at the drone. "Shall we?" "Merely say the word." Anaplian looked back at the army, took a deep breath and said, "Very well. Let us do this." The drone made a little dipping motion like a nod. A small hatch opened in its side. A cylinder, perhaps 4 centimetres wide and 25 long, shaped like a sort of conical knife, rolled lazily into the air, then darted away, keeping close to the ground and accelerating quickly towards the rear of the column of men, animals and machines. It left a trail of dust for a moment before it adjusted its altitude. Anaplian lost sight of its camouflage shape almost immediately. The drone's aura field, invisible until now, glowed rosily for a moment or two. "This," it said, "should be fun." The woman looked at it dubiously. "There aren't going to be any mistakes this time, are there?" "Certainly not," the machine said crisply. "Want to watch?" it asked her. "I mean properly, not through those antique opera glasses." Anaplian looked at the machine through narrowed eyes for a little, then said slowly, "All right." The screen blinked into existence just to one side of them this time, so that Anaplian could still see the army in the